Tonight is going to be a very, very important show because tomorrow at 9 a.m., the Lynn Haven City Commission is going to lie to you again. Is having another meeting, is having their official meeting tomorrow. And they had a pre-meeting, a pre-commission meeting on Friday. And you're going to hear how they described Chief Ramies' accident. And I'm going to play for you City Manager Vicky Gaynor's timeline. And when you're finished with the show tonight, you will have seen the video. You will have seen the court documents, the FHP documents. And we're going to compare what she says with the facts. Today is going to be a different show because I'm going to I've already violated what I'm going to do. I'm only going to share with you facts because what the city likes to do is there's a lot of rumors going around on Facebook, and I don't watch Facebook, but there's a lot of rumors, and we're going to set the facts straight. We're going to tell you only the facts. And they didn't. They left a lot of stuff out, and but I'm going to show it to you. All right, I'm going to show it to you first, and then we're going to listen to Vicky Gaynor. I think that's the best way to do this because after you see the facts and you hear Vicky Gaynor, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I encourage you to share this so that everybody has a one-stop shop for the facts. And I'm going to give you a link to it so you don't have to sit through the whole show. But when they tell you that the Facebook isn't giving you the facts, I'm going to let you be the judge of that. All right, let me thank sponsors first that allow me to do this, and we're going to get right to it.
Hand caught in the cookie jar. Hand caught in the cookie jar? Sometimes bad habits continue even into adulthood. I'm El Saline, 850-215-0628. Let me help you.
Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the facts, and then we're going to listen to Vicky Gaynor. Here's where you see the facts. This is my it's called Substack. It's the new. This will be in the newsletter on Friday, but you can see this now. You see that right there? Corruption Watch. And how do you get to that? So if I'm going to type it in actually, so that you'll be able to get to this. Hold on. All right, I'm going to type in where you can see this. It's at bernie.substack.com. All right, and this is a one-stop shop. There you go. That's where I am right now. And this is what you're going to see. You just click on let's see. Click on this one. See how easy it is? It'll be easier. I just need to refresh. Click on bernie.substack.com. Here it is. Sorry, it's timeline. Goodness gracious. All right, so bernie.substack.com will bring you to this. Then you click on this. All right, here we go. This is the definitive timeline, and then we're going to compare it to what Vicky Gaynor said. So first, what do you want to do? See the video first? Let's do it. So the first thing we know, only that we know tonight, this is not going to be a normal show with all these opinions and conjecture and histrionics. All right, this is just facts tonight. December 30 of last year, so it was at 3:30 in the morning. Chief Ramey crashed into a parked car at 3:30 a.m. after leaving Miss Newby's. He left the scene of the accident without leaving his contact information. Don't believe me? Just watch. Let's take a look. Let's click on it. He's in the maroon dually. He's going to crash into that. So he's got to get, there's a pole on the other side of that white car, and he's trying to squeeze between the pole and the white car after he left the bar. Watch the white car when the left dually bumper hits it right here. Watch the car. Now, you see Chief Ramey looking back going, oh, damn, I hit the car. I bet it's, and he's going to roll up the window. See him rolling up the window there. So we don't know if anyone's in there with him. And there's Chief Ramey. Now, people heard that, and one guy's going to chase him down. Guy in a Hemi named Daryl Quimby. See the chief looking around? Now, he says he's having a medical condition. He issued a statement right there. He said he's having a medical condition, and that's what made him forget. Now, you see that maroon car driving by? That's Daryl Quimby. He's the one who's going to chase down the driver in this hit and run. All right. How about that? How about that? So that is the security footage from Newbie's security camera. So you saw him hit the car. You saw him get out. You saw him leave the scene of an accident. That car had $3,500 worth of damage to the bumper. And he drove off. Let's see what happened next in the timeline. And when he drove off, by the way, left the scene of an accident, that other maroon, the Hemi caught him, all right? Otherwise, he was gone. So let's see what we got next here. Here we go. So next on this timeline, that was December 30th. Now, Vicky Gaynor, the next part of the timeline is, I think, in the middle of January. And the reason that it's, I think, in the middle of January is you're going to hear, I'm going to click this so you can hear, Friday there was a pre-commission meeting and they didn't show video. It's only audio with this logo on the screen. All right, so the pre-commission meeting had no video, only audio. And you're going to hear Vicky Gaynor say this, that's when Chief Ramey first informed her that he had been involved in an accident. Now, watch this part. She says that Ramey said, I did leave, but we did exchange information. Now, is City Manager Vicky Gaynor being honest? Is that the facts? You saw what happened. Let's listen to Vicky Gaynor on Friday at the pre-commission meeting.
30, when we came back from the holidays, of course, we were all on the holidays, I think in the middle of January, he did inform me that, hey, I had, an accident. I did leave, but we did exchange information. I said, fine.
All right. That was Friday. Did it look to you as though Chief Ramey exchanged information, or did he leave the scene? Next, on the 22nd of January, city manager at the same meeting, all of these are at the pre-commission meeting on Friday. City manager Vicky Gaynor said that State Attorney Larry Bassford, that's the lead prosecutor, told her that he had met with some highway patrolman. On January 22nd, State Attorney Larry Bassford tells Vicky Gaynor that he had met with some highway patrolman who said he was going to bring charges. City manager Vicky Gaynor said she had no idea until Bassford informed her. Let's listen.
And then from there, in talking to the state attorney, he said that he actually met with some highway patrolmen who wanted to bring criminal charges. That was on January 22nd.
Okay, you hear that? These are only the facts. I'm only telling you what Vicky Gaynor, the city manager, says, or I'm showing you documents. So 2 days after that, 2 days after State Attorney Larry Bassford talked to some highway patrolman who said he was going to, quote, bring charges, which simply means submit the criminal ticket, the criminal traffic citation. He recused himself on the 24th and sent a letter to Governor DeSantis asking for an executive order to reassign the case to another state attorney. This is the letter that he wrote, okay, on January 22nd to Governor DeSantis, asking for him to issue an executive order and assign the criminal traffic citation to a different state attorney because there's a conflict. I'll read it to you. All right, he says, "Dear Governor DeSantis, the Florida Highway Patrol has submitted a review case against Richard George Ramey for leaving the scene of an accident with injury and failure to report a crash. Richard George Ramey is the police chief of Lynn Haven. We work with him and or his department on a daily basis. Therefore, in order to avoid the appearance of impropriety on the part of this office, I respectfully request an executive order." All right, so until the governor writes an executive order, there's nobody prosecuting the case from January 24th, when State Attorney Bassford recused himself, until the time of the executive order. There is no prosecutor on the case. So no prosecutor is supposed to be doing anything until somebody's assigned. Governor DeSantis could assign any state attorney. Normally, they assign the one closest in Pensacola, Ginger Bowden Madden. So now it's February 6th, and the FHP arrests Chief Ramey for, quote, leaving the scene of an accident with damages more than $50. Now, that's different than what State Attorney Larry Bassford had said. He had told the governor that Chief Ramey left the scene of an accident with injury. Now, you might say, well, what he really meant, he meant to say without injury, Bernie. It's just a typo, but that doesn't make sense either, because the criminal charge, is a second-degree misdemeanor here. Leaving the scene of an accident with damages more than $50. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's a criminal charge. But if he had left the scene of an accident with injury, that would have been a felony. So that's weird that he told the governor that. Wait till you see what the governor's executive orders actually said. So let's take a look at these documents. Now, he's arrested, but he's not taken to jail. He's not cuffed and stuffed like we would have been. He's just given a notice to appear and an arraignment date of February 23rd with Joe Grammer. It's a second-degree misdemeanor. Okay, let's take a look at the documents. Only the facts tonight, only the facts. There is there it is, look. It's got the case number and everything. So this is the charge from the FHP trooper. February 6th, leaving the scene of an accident with damages more than $50. It is a second-degree misdemeanor. Okay. Now it's interesting too, because during the pre-meeting, you had all kinds of discussion about he's not charged yet. He is charged. See, they were confused at the meeting because they didn't understand that a criminal traffic citation that does not rise to the level of a felony does not require what's known as an information. That's like an indictment from the state. Since it's a second-degree misdemeanor, the charge is brought by the FHP. So let's take a look at that. Oh, okay. So let's take a look at, I'm going to have to do it this way so I don't lose it every time. This is the actual charging document right here. And I'm going to show it to you because I've blown it up. This shows that, yes, indeed, he was arrested. Look. See that? It was filed, and it shows there that status in the circle. What does it say? All right. Shows arrest. And then you've got the narrative of what happened. And let's go through the narrative of what happened. I'm going to click on that. Jeez. I'm afraid if I click on them, I'm going to have to keep going back. So I'm going to, again, you can see this all yourself at bernie.substack.com. So here's what the FHP trooper said. And in the entire, you'll hear Vicky Gaynor's timeline in a moment, but throughout the entire meeting, not a single member of the commission, not the city attorney, not the city manager, nobody told you, no one used the word arrest. I'll let you hear what they said. But they acted like there was absolutely no evidence. They've got no information about anything, and they're not going to make any decision until they get some information and some facts. Well, all of the facts have already been filed, and they act like the FHP. Look, when you get arrested and there's a narrative, an investigation report, they acted like there wasn't one. The investigation report is evidence that will be used to prosecute you. But the Lynn Haven city commissioners and Mayor Nelson and everybody, they acted like they just act like the FHP. Nobody's a bunch of punks over there. So it says that 2 troopers responded to a hit and run accident in the parking lot of 8711 Thomas Drive, which was the business of Miss Newbies. Once on the scene, RT Crisp, I think that's a trainee, spoke with the victim of the damaged property of the white car, who was identified by his Florida driver's license as John Shea Works. So John Shea Works got his car jacked up. And by the way, at the city pre-commission meeting, not a single person ever mentioned the victim. They acted as though there was no victim. I mean, to hell with John Shea and his jacked up car now. Not a single word about the victim. Nobody gave a damn about the victim. As a matter of fact, they all acted, and you'll hear it, they all acted like Ricky Ramies was the victim here. Unbelievable. How can you not care about the victim? So while parked, the vehicle, a white in color Mercury Grand Prix, was struck by a maroon in color Ford Dually pickup as it was driving through the parking lot. After speaking with the victim, RT Chris began working on the accident when she was approached by a Bay County Sheriff's deputy. Now, if anybody knows who the Bay County Sheriff's deputy is, please let me know. Email it to me at berniethompson@protonmail.com. Because we'd like to find out who the deputy is. So they were approached by a deputy who advised that he had a photo of the hit and run driver's license that he had gotten from a customer at the business. The Florida driver's license had the name of Richard George Ramey attached to it. However, the individual that obtained Mr. Ramey's driver's license had already left the business. While completing the accident report, employees of Miss Newbies were able to download the videos of their camera system, which showed a clear view of the accident. The video showed the pickup truck attempting to drive between the victim's vehicle and a light pole. The vehicle traveled through the opening. Its left side dually fender struck the left front headlight area of the victim's vehicle. After the contact, a white male with gray hair, wearing blue jeans and a gray T-shirt, exited the pickup truck and walked over to the other vehicle, looked around, and returned to his vehicle and drove away. So remember, Vicky Gaynor on Friday, the city manager, said on the record that she first heard about this in mid-January, and Chief Ramey informed her he was in an accident, and yes, he left, but he exchanged information, she said. Now we've seen the video. No, he didn't, and the trooper says he did not. But I guess that's not evidence. That's not information. Those are not facts to the Lynn Haven City Commission. Lynn Haven City Commission knows all of this. All right, so by using Mr. Ramey's Florida driver's license, I was able to locate a vehicle registered to him that matched the vehicle in the video. After completing the accident report, we traveled to the address listed on Mr. Ramey's driver's license. And once at the residence, we located a 2017 Ford maroon in color dually pickup truck at the residence. The vehicle was inspected for damage that would have been consistent with the damage to the victim's white vehicle. Remember, the white paint was on Chief Ramey's pickup truck. More evidence. Mr. Ramey's vehicle had white transfer paint damage on the left side dually fender, which matched up to the video, and damage to the other vehicle. An attempt was made to contact Mr. Ramey, but was unsuccessful. So at 3:30 in the morning, Chief Ramey crashes into the white car and bones out, right? And he gets run down by the guy in the Hemi. He gets home, his car's home, but when the troopers get there, he's not there. Now, I don't understand that, because if he's having a medical condition, he can't be far from the car, probably. On the next day, another attempt was made to contact Mr. Ramey at his residence, which was successful. While explaining the reason for us being there, Mr. Ramey, and then it's heavily redacted. Look at all that. And then it says, Mr. Ramey, and again, it's redacted. But this is the part that's super interesting, right? I guess to the city commission, an incident report by law enforcement is not evidence. It's evidence against everybody else in the world, but Sheriff Tommy Ford says no, and he's the head of the professional, the FDLE's Professional Standards Commission. So this is what the trooper says in his report. The video did not reflect the same story as he was telling. The video clearly showed that he never went past the driver's right door of the vehicle window. In the video, you can see what appears to be a business card in his right hand, and was not placed on the vehicle, and it was returned in his pants pocket. Ricky Ramey stated, and then again, heavily redacted. Ricky Ramey advised, heavily redacted. This person was later identified as Daryl Ray Quimby. That's the guy in the maroon Hemi that chased him down. Mr. Ramey showed us on his phone where he had it basically, I don't want to click on that again. You can do it, bernie.substack.com. But it says that Ramey showed the FHP that he took a picture of his driver's license and he texted it to the guy who chased him down. That's what it says. Ramey only stayed on the scene beside the victim's vehicle, left side driver's door, for only a few seconds after the accident, which shows he was looking around the parking lot and not attempting to speak with anyone about the white car. The video only shows redacted, but Mr. Quimby advised redacted. Why is all this stuff redacted? Mr. Quimby was contacted on the same day they contacted Mr. Ramey, 12/31, the day after, at Miss Newby's, and provided a verbal statement of what had happened the previous night. Mr. Quimby was advised to complete a written statement, which he agreed to, and asked that we contact him the next day and he would meet up with us. So on January 1st, the next day, we made contact. We contacted Mr. Quimby, who advised us that he was at Newby's and that he had already written out his statement and that we could come by and pick it up from him. Statement attached. Now, I don't have his statement. Mr. Quimby did not know either party prior to the accident and only made contact with Mr. Ramey as he attempted to leave the scene. The troopers, that's in the troopers' report. After reviewing the video footage and witness statement, along with Mr. Ramey redacted, it has been determined that Mr. Ramey is in violation of Florida statute crash, fail to leave information, unattended vehicle, property damage. Mr. Ramey has been issued a traffic citation for this offense with a court date given of February 2nd, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. at the Bay County Courthouse. The offense did occur in Bay County, Florida. All right, so that was just for the civil tickets, but there's a criminal ticket. So now that was all. He was arrested and given a notice to appear and given 2 civil traffic violations. That was February 6th. That was filed February 6th by the FHP. But look at this. 3 days later, on February 9, and you're going to hear Vicky Gaynor say this at the meeting on Friday, City Manager Vicky Gaynor said that the FHP called Chief Ramey and told him that he would receive 3 civil violations. Ramey called Vicky Gaynor and said that he had to pay the tickets on Monday and everything is fine. Listen.
Which he did. But Chief Ramey also was called on by the FHP on the 9th and told him 3 citations you will be given, I think, moving infractions and something else. But that was the 9th. He called me and said, just have 3 moving citations. I've got to pay those on Monday and everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. All right. So on February 11th, on Sunday, Chief Ramey paid the 3 traffic citations that were filed on the 9th, according to City Manager Vicky Gaynor.
But that was the 9th. He called me and said, just have 3 moving citations. I've got to pay those on Monday and everything's fine. That was on the 9th. Little did anyone know.
Okay. See, that was on the 9th. Now, February 12th. City Manager Vicky Gaynor said that Ramey, quote, came in and made me aware on the 12th that there's another criminal charge that's been uploaded. Now, that's a very interesting way of saying that because only 1 criminal charge was filed. And she says, but he talked to the FHP, Captain Robert Ift, and they told him that is something that should not have been uploaded and that it was a mistake and that they would get it taken care of. She says, little did anyone know that FHP had uploaded a document on the 6th. In other words, he was arrested and given a notice to appear. And so when Chief Ramey went to pay his infractions like he was told, that's when he saw that. And that was on the 11th. All right, let's hear City Manager Vicky Gaynor say that.
Little did anyone know that FHP had uploaded a document on the 6th. And so when Chief Ramey went to pay his infractions like he was told, that's when he saw that. And that was on the 11th. Came in.
Okay. So that was on February 11th. Now, the fit hit the shan on Valentine's Day because I reported the story that they were trying to hide. So on February 14th at about 10:30 at night, I broke the story. Lynn Haven Police Chief Ricky Ramey was arrested, and I say that he had left the scene of a crime. I say what happened. Okay, and so now, holy smokes, They wake up on the 15th, and the story took off. Now the cat's out of the bag. Also, on February 15th, WMBB did a news story. You can see that news story there. Lynn Haven Police Chief. Now, notice how they word it. Lynn Haven Police Chief accused of leaving the scene of an accident. Actually, he was arrested for it and given a notice to appear. Then on that same, now this is all the day after I broke the story, Chief Ramey writes an official statement. And he says that he forgot to leave his contact information after he crashed into the white car after leaving the bar at 3:30 in the morning because he was experiencing a, quote, medical condition. These are just, what I'm telling you are just facts. This is what he said. This is his statement. Now, they left a lot of stuff out at the pre-commission meeting, and they're going to leave a lot of stuff out tomorrow. And I wanted you to have it all. You can have every one of these documents, look through them quickly at bernie.substack.com. And while you're there, if you want to never miss this stuff, just subscribe. It's a free subscription. I send a newsletter to your email with everything once a week on Friday nights. So you get a free subscription. And if you like what I'm doing, you can get a paid subscription. And boy, does that help. All right, here we go. This is what Chief Ramey said in his written statement the day after I broke the story. He said, on December 30th, I was involved in an accident. That's how he worded it. At Newbies on Thomas Drive, I did get out of my vehicle and confirm no one was in the parked car. I was experiencing a medical condition, so I departed not realizing I did not leave my information. Now, remember, I played it for you a little while ago. City Manager Vicky Gaynor said at the meeting on Friday, she said to the public in an official statement, she says, in the middle of January, Chief Ramey called me, said he was involved in an accident. Yes, he left, but he exchanged information. That is what Vicky Gaynor said to you. But Chief Ramey, on the 15th of this month, said this. He was having a medical condition, so I departed not realizing I did not leave my information. Think about that for a minute. And they all set up there, Jamie Warwick, Sam Peebles, who are the other ones? Judy Vandegrift, the mayor, Jesse Nelson, and Pat Perno. And get a load of this, even the city attorney, Kevin Obos. As a matter of fact, the mayor said, the mayor asked in that meeting, is this what happened, what Vicky Gaynor said? And Chief Ramey in that meeting said yes. And Kevin Obos, the city attorney, confirmed this. That's what happened. But that's not what Chief Ramey said a few days before. He said he did not leave his information because he was having a medical condition. So does that sound like they're telling you the truth? And then they told everybody that there's misinformation on Facebook. Now, do you think I'm giving you misinformation tonight? Has anything I said not been shown to you in official documents or straight out of the horse's mouth? This is amazing. This is not amazing. Wow. All right. And then Chief Ramey says this. Remember, he is the one charged with a crime. I was later stopped by what I believed to be an employee security of the establishment a block away. I provided him with a photo of my Florida driver's license, which was taken back to the scene. But that's not what it says in the investigation report. In the investigation report, it says that when the troopers finally caught up with them a day later, that Chief Ramey showed them on his phone that he had texted his driver's license to the guy who chased him down, Daryl Quimby. And by the way, if you know Daryl Quimby, who is a patron at Miss Newbies and a good Samaritan, will you ask him to contact me? I really would like to talk to him. If you know him, please, I really want to talk to him. Have him email me, have him send me a message, anything. All right. So, and then Chief Ramey says this. This is wild. I have cooperated with the FHP in their investigation for over a month. Now think about that. If you get let's say you get a criminal traffic citation from the Lynn Haven Police Department, or let's be consistent, from the FHP. Do you get to show up at the FHP building, talk to the guy in charge, Captain Robert Ift, and conduct or cooperate in their investigation of your crime? Or is that just a special privilege that Sheriff Tommy Ford allows? Because he is the chairman of the FDLE's Criminal Justice and Professional Standards Commission. He has the authority to bring this before the board, and he has not only the authority, he has the duty, the obligation, he's required by law to do it. And Sheriff Tommy Ford hasn't done that. That's another fact. All right. The case was sent to the state attorney's office, says Chief Ramey, for review. Now, what that means is this. It's really weird because let's say, this is what for review means. Let's say that you are the FHP and you're not sure whether or not you should arrest somebody. And so you just want to get the prosecutor's opinion. That's called a review. But when you've already done it, when you've already written it up or whatever, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, but I'm just telling you what he said. And State Attorney Larry Bassford recused himself from the case, and he reached out to the governor's office for assignment. The case was sent to the 1st District out of Pensacola for review of criminal charges. Now, what Chief Ramey means to say is that, first of all, that's not true either, because this letter's on February 15th. You're going to see in the timeline. Chief Ramey says that Bassford recused himself from the case and reached out to the governor's office. Yes, that was January 24. The case was sent to the 1st District out of Pensacola. No, it wasn't. That didn't happen until February 21st when the executive order was made by the governor. So that's not true. On February 9, I learned from FHP officials that the 1st District, he means again, the 1st Judicial State Attorney's Office, Ginger Bowden Madden, advised the case should be handled by the issuing of civil citations. On February 10, I met with the FHP trooper investigating the case. What? And received received 3 civil infractions. Those civil infractions have been paid, and I am waiting for the final disposition on the open case in the clerk of the court, meaning the criminal charge. I have been told verbally that the open criminal case will be dismissed. How? This is on February 15th. Larry Bassford had recused himself on January 24. He shouldn't have anything to do with this. And Ginger Madden doesn't get it until February 21st. Wow. All right, let's go to February 16 now. That's 2 days after I broke the story. Judge Joe Grammer recuses himself, and Judge Shane Vann is assigned. And there you see in the court documents, that's what happened. February 21st. Ramey retains defense attorney Waylon Graham. And motions are filed to waive arraignment, plead not guilty, and request a jury trial. Well, hell, the Lynn Haven City Commission didn't say anything about that stuff on Friday. Why not? They said they had no information. There was nothing. They had no facts, only rumors swirling around. But there were facts. So there it is. Look, private attorney Graham Waylon is assigned. That's on the 21st of February. Now, the next day, this gets really interesting. February 22nd, Governor DeSantis issues an executive order. He finally gets around, and it's taken about the right amount of time, assigning the case to State Attorney Ginger Bowden-Madden, 1st Judicial District. Both State Attorney Larry Bassford and Governor DeSantis indicate, both of them do, that Ramey left the scene of an accident with injury. That's a felony. Now, did they both just make a mistake? Maybe had a little typo? Did they both really kind of mean that he left the scene of an accident that had more than $50 of property damage, which is what the criminal citation is? Why does Governor DeSantis say with injury? And is there another accident that we're not aware of that they're hiding? Hey, Mayor Jesse Nelson, are there any other accidents? What is this with injury stuff? I don't know. I don't have any of the facts. I don't know any information. Well, hell, I do. How do you not? Because I'm a doctor of leadership and I like to wait till the facts are presented. Well, they've been out there, dude. Well, we cannot rush to things. We must be sober. You be sober. Back to the facts. Only the facts. So this is the actual February 22nd. That's when State Attorney Ginger Bowden-Madden actually gets jurisdiction. Before that, she has absolutely no jurisdiction. And if you don't believe me, City Manager Vicky Gaynor is going to say so in just a minute. Let's take a look at this executive order. All right. It says, and it's only the 34th one. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind that. Yeah, it's only the 34th executive order issued by the governor this year. 24 is the year 2024. All right, so it goes on. The FHP has submitted a review case against Richard George Ramey. Again, look at that. For leaving the scene of an accident with injury and failure to report a crash. Now, don't you think that the mayor tomorrow morning at the Lynn Haven City Commission meeting and the city manager, city attorney Kevin Obost, and the city manager Vicky Gaynor, don't you think they have a duty and obligation to clarify this, to deny it? Don't they have an obligation to say State Attorney Larry Bassford is mistaken? And so is Governor DeSantis. They are wrong. There was no injury. I want to hear them deny that. Or is there another accident we don't know about? And why don't we know about it? All right. It goes on. Larry Bassford, to avoid a conflict of interest or any appearance of impropriety, has voluntarily disqualified himself and requested the executive assignment to another state attorney regarding the investigation and prosecution of this case and all related matters regarding Richard George Ramey. And whereas the Honorable Ginger Bowden-Madden, State Attorney for the 1st Judicial Circuit, Florida, has agreed to accept the executive assignment in this matter. Now, here's another fact. The state attorney out of Pensacola, the one assigned to this, had a romantic relationship with our state attorney, Larry Bassford, several years ago. They were an item. Now, does that present a conflict of interest? I don't know. But it's noteworthy, right? It's noteworthy. Whereas in the best, and this is what they care about, all of them, whereas it is in the best interest of the state of Florida and the ends of justice that the Honorable Ginger Bowden-Madden discharge the duties of the Honorable Larry Bassford. Now, therefore, I, Ron DeSantis, Governor of Florida, in obedience to my solemn constitutional duty to, quote, take care that the laws be faithfully executed, and pursuant to the Constitution and laws of the state of Florida, issuing the following executive order effective immediately. So it is on the February 22nd that it takes effect, where State Attorney Ginger Bowden-Madden is now, it's her prosecution, it's her jurisdiction. Let's see what he directs her to do. All right, we got to see what he directs Ginger Madden, the state attorney, to do. But before I finish this, let me just thank two more sponsors.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan can make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at pcairrepair.com. All right, so now Governor DeSantis says the Honorable Ginger Madden, state attorney, referred to as assigned state attorney, is assigned to discharge the duties of Bassford, the one here, regarding the investigation and prosecution of this case and all related matters regarding to Richard George Ramey. The assigned state attorney, or one or more assistant state attorneys and investigators who have been designated by the assigned state attorney, in other words, any of her assistant state attorneys or investigators, look what it says. It doesn't say should or could or maybe, shall proceed immediately to the 14th Judicial Circuit, right here, and are vested with the authority to perform the duties prescribed herein. They had not been before February 22nd. And this, Governor DeSantis also makes a request of you and me. Look, Section 3 on the right. All residents of the 14th Judicial District, that means you and me. So if anybody within 6 counties, because the 14th Judicial District is Washington County, Bay County, there's 6 of them. Not just if you live in Lynn Haven. If you don't live in Lynn Haven, then you should not be commenting on this matter. No, we're just following the executive order of Governor DeSantis. Read that. All residents of the 14th Judicial District are requested. The governor is asking you, and all public officials are directed. Every single public official. Sheriff Tommy Ford has been directed by the governor. Everybody, every mayor, everybody, you are directed to cooperate and render whatever assistance necessary to the assigned state attorney so that justice may be served. The period of time of this executive order is a year, so they've got a year to prosecute Police Chief Ramey. Now, this is an executive order that was posted the day before the meeting, okay, on Friday, because the next day, that was on the 22nd, the next day, I posted it, I announced it, I reported it on the 22nd. But during the meeting on Friday, city manager and city attorney Obos and Mayor Nelson and every one of them, Jamie Warwick, who says he does more research than anybody all the time, Sam Peebles, Judy Vandergrift, Pat Perno, all of them said, we can't do anything until an executive order is issued. It had been already the day before. So listen, Lynn Haven City Manager Vicky Gaynor on the 23rd at the meeting on Friday provides the timeline and description during the pre-commission meeting. She says that, quote, until jurisdiction is given by the governor, the First Circuit Court cannot move forward. She meant to say the First Judicial Circuit State Attorney's Office, but, you know, she says until that executive order, she cannot move forward. She meant to say that State Attorney Ginger Madden of the First Judicial Circuit had no authority to act until the governor appointed her via executive order, which was the day before. However, the additional traffic citation for careless driving, an additional one, issued by FHP on February 9, clearly indicates that it was per state attorney in Pensacola. That's nearly 2 weeks prior to Governor DeSantis vesting authority in the First Circuit. So this is wild. Even Vicky Gaynor is saying that until that executive order comes out, it came out on the 22nd rather. So not until the 22nd could the state attorney in Pensacola have any input on this case. They didn't know for sure what state attorney was going to take it until the 22nd. But look at this. Way before that, on the 6th, it says in the middle, double underlined, that another ticket was issued for careless driving per state attorney office in Pensacola. Wow. So the state attorney in Pensacola was telling who? FHP? The court here? Before she had any authority? Listen to Vicky Gaynor.
Prepared to share your timeline, but you not want to share your timeline.
I can definitely talk about the timeline. I think everybody knows by now that Chief Ramey had an accident December 30th. When we came back from the holidays. Of course, we're all on the holidays. I think in the middle of January, he did inform me that, hey, I had, an accident. I did leave, but we did exchange information.
Now, we all know that Chief Ramey said he did not because he had a medical condition that made him forget. So, they always say everybody's got, they're just the ones with all the facts, and we're the ones spreading misinformation. Who do you believe? Do you believe City Manager Vicky Gaynor is telling the truth? Do you believe the mayor with the Doctor of Leadership, Jesse Nelson's telling the truth? Do you believe City Attorney Richard Obos? Do you believe Ricky Ramey, the Chief of Police, is telling the truth? Do you think I'm telling you the truth?
I said, fine. Let's, so went from there, didn't hear any more about that. And then from there, in talking to the state attorney, he said that he actually met with some highway patrolmen who wanted to bring criminal charges. That was on January 22nd. We had no idea that those charges were even there. And they were not there at that particular time. And of course, State Attorney Bassford recused himself and said, I know the city, I know Ricky Ramey, so he told them that he was going to send that packet to the governor's office, which he did. But Chief Ramey also was called on by the FHP on the 9th and told him 3 citations you will be given, I think, moving infractions and something else. But that was the 9th. He called me and said, just have 3 moving citations. I've got to pay those on Monday, and everything's fine. That was on the 9th. Little did anyone know that FHP had uploaded a document on the 6th. And so when Chief Ramey went to pay his infractions like he was told, that's when he saw that. And that was on the 11th. Came in, made me aware on the 12th that there's now another criminal charge that's been uploaded. But he had talked to FHP and they assured him that that was something that should have not been uploaded and it was a mistake. And they would get it taken care of. The issuing officer was off on Monday and Tuesday. But Chief Ramey was in contact with the captain of FHP on the 14th. It still had not been removed. And I did say that, I'm going to have to share this with the commissioners. On that morning, 15th, of course, it had already come out. So I did talk to the state attorney, and he said as of today, which was yesterday.
Pay close attention to this part here. My favorite thing is when she said, of course, by that time it had come out. Now, because I broke the story. But listen to the words. It had come out. As though they were trying to keep it a secret. Listen to this. I mean, everything about the next 15 seconds is I mean, if you're one of these people who don't like me or don't like the Beacon of Bay County or Mayor Margo Anderson or James Finch or whatever, Judy Tender, whatever, you don't like us. And you guys are the facts people. And we're the crazy misinformation people. I mean, you can try to gaslight somebody else, you know what I mean? But You look pretty foolish. Look.
On that morning, 15th, of course, it had already come out.
Yeah.
So I did talk to the state attorney, and he said as of today, which was yesterday.
Did you get that? So she said she talked to the state attorney on February 22nd. And remember, on the 22nd, the governor had issued the executive order. She's talking right here on the 23rd. Listen.
The First Circuit Court still does not have any jurisdiction until jurisdiction is given by the governor. First Circuit Court cannot move forward.
But she did. On the 9th, it says, look, do you see that right in the middle, double underline? Per state attorney in Pensacola.
Okay. We know that there are rumors, there are a lot of accusations going around about what happened and how it happened. And the city is definitely aware of all of these, the investigation, and we're monitoring the status of that. Once these findings.
Wait, what? They're aware of the rumors and they're monitoring the status of the rumors? You're monitoring the status of the... You're monitoring me? The Beacon? Who are you monitoring? You're monitoring the status of the rumors after this had come out? What is... Am I in the Twilight Zone?
Going around about what happened and how it happened. And the city is definitely aware of all of these, the investigation, and we're monitoring the status of that. Once these findings are made public, the city will evaluate the outcome and will take any and all appropriate measures.
Now listen to this.
Anything else you need to say?
So the mayor says, anything else you need to say? No, that's all. That's all. Listen, that's so weird. Listen.
Anything else you need to say?
No. Yeah. So now the mayor, remember, much of what you just heard is contradicted by documents, video, the FHP, and nobody gives a damn, by the way, about the victim. One thing about the entitled class, the Vicky Gaynors and the Jesse Nelsons and the rest of them there, one thing about the entitled class of people, the political class, is they don't give a damn about systemic corruption, abnormalities of the justice system. Nobody gives a damn about John Shea Works, who had his car torn up by the police chief who now is the victim. Okay, look, I stayed with giving you the facts through the entire presentation. Now I need to throw on a little exclamation mark here with some commentary, some public commentary. Why does nobody give a damn about the victim? John Shea Works got his car jacked up. Nobody, and if you listen, you can listen to this whole thing at bernie.substack.com. They go on, and never once does anybody mention the victim, and they all pretend that Chief Ramey himself is the victim here of rumors and allegations, and that they're waiting until they get the facts because there's no facts available, and there certainly is no executive order. Yes, there is. Now, who could do something about this? Well, not in this case, Larry Bassford can't because he recused himself. But Sheriff Tommy Ford has a duty to. Let me show you something. All right, I'm gonna get rid of this. Oh, I want you to hear the mayor ask the chief of police: is everything that was just said, is it true?
Okay. Can I ask Chief Ramey one question?
Yes, sir.
Chief Ramey, just one question. in regards to her statement of the timeline, as you recall, is that how it happened?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
That's how it happened. Let it be written, let it be done. That is what we say, and we are the government officials, and all those people are spreading rumors and innuendo. Now, I want to show you something. This is what the, if you don't believe me, type this in. Will somebody help me and type it in the comment section? Look up, just do a search, a DuckDuckGo, and look up Florida Criminal Justice Professional Standards Commission. Florida Criminal Justice Professional Standards Commission. And look at who the name on there is. That's the chairman. This is the one sheriff out of 67 sheriffs in Florida that leads up this commission that evaluates law enforcement, that punishes law enforcement officers if they violate their moral and ethical code. And it's not an option. They have to do it. The chairman is our very own Sheriff Tommy Ford. And he is in dereliction of his duty. I'll prove it to you. Want me to prove it to you? But Bernie, you make these claims. All right, well, let me show you. So this is, all right. This is from what I just told you. Okay, there's the source. I put the source here. Take a screenshot of this. Florida Criminal Justice Professional Compliance Process. This is their manual. Produced by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Criminal Justice Professionalism, the department. Sheriff Tommy Ford is the chairman. And it says that in order for them to initiate, to open a case and investigate a case about a law enforcement officer, when do they do that? When do they have to do that? Commission disciplinary cases are opened and processed by commission staff located in the professional compliance section within the Criminal Justice Professionalism at the FDLE. Cases are opened based on 6 possibilities. All right. Notification of an officer's arrest. Cases are opened. Notification of an officer's arrest. Has the FDLE just not been notified that Chief Ramey was arrested? Bernie, you keep saying Chief Ramey was arrested. He didn't get in handcuffs. Look, read what it says. Unless you're telling me that the FHP investigation reports are just a silly piece of paper. Status, arrest. That's the highway. I'll tell you, that's the other thing that they did at the Friday pre-commission meeting. They acted like the FHP were a bunch of punks. They uploaded a document as a mistake. They need to take it down. Arrest. So if it's true that an arrest, notification of an arrest, is when they open up a case, well, Bernie, maybe not all the time. Maybe there's discretion. Maybe there are mitigating factors. They actually list mitigating factors. But what Chief Ramey did are actually aggravating factors, according to the FDLE's criminal justice and professional compliance process. Well, look at this. I'm going to answer that question for you, too. This is also from the same source. So when does the city have to report? When are they mandated, required by law to report to the FDLE? Well, let's read it. According to Florida statutes and Florida Administrative Code, if an officer commits an act of misconduct and the officer's employing agency has come to believe, in other words, if the city of Lynn Haven, if the city manager or the city attorney or the city commissioners, if they have cause to believe that the officer has not maintained the minimum standards to be certified or has committed a violation of good moral character, then the employing agency, what does it say? Must conduct an internal investigation. So the city of Lynn Haven is required by law. They are lawbreakers if they do not conduct an internal investigation. Now, last time you remember what happened, but still, they need to do it again. They must, according to Florida statutes and the Florida Administrative Code. Well, maybe none of them have any cause to believe what? See the arrow? That the chief was arrested, except for the FHP filing document and the court. There's no doubt that he had an arraignment, that he currently has. Look, he has hired Waylon Graham, a defense attorney. He has pled not guilty of the criminal charge, and he has requested a jury trial. Do you think that falls within this? Is there a cause to believe that he's been arrested? What do you think? I mean, what? Bernie, you're just so goofy. You're just always wrong, always making up stuff, Bernie. Come on, man. Come on, man. What kind of person are you? So tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, Lynn Haven City Commission meeting. I wonder if they're going to have cause to believe that Chief Ramey has waived his arraignment, pled not guilty, and requested a jury trial. I wonder if they will have cause to believe tomorrow that Chief Ramey was arrested. And I wonder if they will be aware. And by the way, hear me. If you want to do your part, because I can't do everything. I can barely do this. The city attorney, Kevin Obos, he knows, or he should know, about the arrest and about the duty, not the duty, that the law requires. They must conduct an internal investigation if an officer has been arrested. If city attorney Kevin Obost says that's not true, somebody should file a bar complaint against him because it's true and he is giving bad or worse advice to the city of Lynn Haven. That's a bar complaint. You can get your license removed for that. So now you have at bernie.substack.com everything I showed you. You don't have to watch the whole show again. You can go there and have all the documents and the video, bernie.substack.com. And you can subscribe. And if you like what I'm doing and you want to say thank you, you can get a paid subscription. You don't have to. But these people can be held accountable. You can't give knowingly bad advice and keep your bar license. You can't do that, Kevin Obos. All right. That's it. That's all I got for you. I want to thank those of you who do support the show by throwing a tip in the tip jar at patreon.com. $5 a month, as little as $5 a month by becoming a patron. You know that's the best $5 a month. I mean, come on. This was worth $5 tonight. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. It is anonymous, it's easy, and you can quit at any time. And of course, I want to thank the unknown patriot who says, I want to support you, but I'm not putting my name behind that because I know what they do to people. And if there are any more people who want to be unknown patriots, send me an email, berniethompson@protonmail.com. It is an encrypted email, and that's where you can give me information. And if you know Daryl Quimby, the guy who chased down Chief Ramey, I have some questions. I want to talk to him. berniethompson@protonmail.com is where you can do that. All right. Thanks for being with me. Forgive my voice. It's allergies. I feel great. I feel a lot better than I sound. All right. I'll talk to you soon.